I wanted everything to sort of stay the way it was. Like I wanted to be active. I wanted to still run. I still wanted to vacation. I still wanted everyone to treat me the same. But I am still the same person. It's a chronic illness at this point. Like treatments change, but ultimately it's like anybody else who has an invisible disease. It's just a chronic illness I have, and I have to learn how to manage it, but still live my life. And I think what I have struggled with is that the cancer support community is wonderful.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 130 of the On the Runs podcast. Many of you are fresh off the Chicago Marathon, and I hope you all had a fantastic time in the Windy City. Here in the Northeast, we are peaking as the leaves continue to change, and it is about time to hunker down after all that cold and rainy weather as the temperatures continue to drop. So bundle up. Get nice and cozy. If you're driving, turn up the heat because we got another awesome episode for you with an amazing guest from our pod fam. But first, let me say hello to my amazing co-host, 6-star Erica. What's up?
How you doing, dude? I am hunkering down over here. It's actually freezing in the spare bedroom. So I have PJ pants, I've got a sweatshirt, and I'm trying to stay warm.
Have you
It's like
turned
48
the
today.
heat on?
No, we are holding out for as long as we can.
Yeah, same.
We're
November
one of those
1st.
people. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I turned my heat on the other day to make sure it still worked because do you
that's
remember
smart.
last year we turned it on November 1st and the furnace wouldn't kick on? And I was up to like 11:30 and I got it working and I was like, yes, we got heat, baby. But I wanted to make sure like we don't run into that again. So the heat kicked
Good
on
idea.
the other day and I turned it right off. And hunker
Smart.
down time. Hunker down. What do you say, you know?
Yeah, it's time to hunker down. Let's hunker down. We've heard that a lot over the past few days, but our thoughts are going out to everybody in Florida. We're hoping that you guys are okay, especially our pod fam who's living down there. So let us know you're good, please.
Well, Lindsay, our guest last week, they actually evacuated, and they went.
know.
I don't know where they went. I think the final result was minor house damage, but I sent her a message, said hope everything's well, and she told me they left, so they weren't even there for the storm.
Good.
But the hunker down thing, we're laughing about it, and we've said it a lot now. But
I feel bad at laughing because I really hope that people were being safe, but yeah, that you sent me like a news clip, and that was all they kept saying: hunker down, hunker down. I'm like, it never sounded weird to me until I heard that video when it happened like 7,000 times.
Yeah, it was like anyone from like the person being interviewed on the street, the sideline reporters, the anchors, even like the governor, hunker down, hunker down, hunker. And it's like, oh, it's weird. How did we come up with hunker down?
I couldn't even tell you. It's just always been a thing. So everybody's been rolling with it.
I'm actually going to look this up. Hunker down meeting. Maybe there's like a urban dictionary. Oh, it's actually in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. So hunker down means to lower the body to the ground by bending the knees or to stay in place for a period of time.
There you go. Okay.
It's a real thing. I thought it was a made up word we all came up with. So
I guess not, but hey, it's a real thing.
How are you though? What's going on? Did you do anything this weekend? Like people were in Chicago, you weren't there. We know people were in 100 milers, you weren't there. What did you do this weekend?
I definitely had some FOMO, but we have family in town. So we have a house guest and we went apple picking yesterday. And unfortunately, I don't know if you can tell, I am getting a little sick. And of course, It's right before all of my races that I have in the fall. Like next weekend, I'm running Bay State. I think that's a new development. I last minute signed up for that. So I'm hoping I can kick this really soon. I mean, today we were hunkering down because it was raining and it was cold. So I ran on the treadmill and oh boy, I'm still feeling it in the form of tummy issues post run today.
Well, at least you're running because I'm not even doing that. I'm not even sick.
You know
Everyone in
what?
my house got sick this week and I'm not running.
Well, it's hard to get out of that like funk,
I'm so
I was feeling
unmotivated.
it too.
I'm
But this
unmotivated to do
weekend,
anything. I posted on Friday, like my first run in 2 weeks, and I could barely find time to get out the door and run.
it's hard when your family is sick and you're just trying to juggle all that stuff. So I don't blame you,
It's
but
that, it's work. It's like,
it's a lot.
I need to do long runs, and I look, oh, I got 40 minutes to go run. I'm like, that's not enough time. I don't do it.
True.
I was kicking ass before the Tucson trip. I got 3 weekends of long runs in a row. Actually, not weekends. My weekends are gone. So I've been doing them on Fridays. I can't even, no way I'm getting out the door on the weekend. Lucky if I get on the Peloton bike.
Yeah.
And I don't do this stuff late at night because it's late at night. That's when we podcast. So
Yep. And you've got editing to do and you're a busy dude.
yeah,
I
I
get
got
it.
work to do. But yeah, we'll see what happens on Monday. Try to kick it off, or else I don't know. I did get a few messages from people saying like, just keep going. You got another month. I'm like, yeah, we'll be there one way or the other. I'll be there. So
Good.
You'll be there too. But
I will be there. Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, speaking of podcasting and editing and jobs on the podcast, you hosted for the second time ever an episode.
How'd it come out? I didn't listen yet.
You didn't listen?
I'm like afraid.
I think it came out fine.
My wonderful guests, I'm sure, were as fantastic as I remember, but I always feel so awkward doing it without you. It's just weird.
There was a couple times you're like, oh, Eric will just cut that, or he could just.
Did Eric not touch it?
I didn't touch it because I didn't think it was serious. I thought it was a joke. You're like, okay, so there's two Patricks, and you're like,
there are
well,
two Patricks, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, well, you're Patrick number one. And you've always been Patrick number one. And someone's like, oh, you can't say that. And it was like, oh, Eric will just cut it. And I was like, not cutting that.
I mean, it is all in a joking fashion. But yeah, I don't even remember how it really went. I just knew it went well. And I will eventually listen, but just haven't gotten around.
I thought you did a really good job. I thought you did a really good job with the structure. Mm-hmm. You also did a really good job with my advice. My advice kind of came out like I was being an asshole, though. When I heard it, and I was like, "Hey, Erica, make sure you say everybody's names."
It did make it flow because I mean, if you're not paying attention, and
but the way I said it,
voices didn't sound, or they sounded too similar. So yeah, I did appreciate that advice.
The advice when I heard it again, I was like, oh, Eric, can you be like, you could have told her that before, but it really helped the flow. It really helped the direction of who talked next. And then when you have multiple people on, let's just say this was the Erica and Erica show. Right? And we're both girls. We both had girly voices. No one would know who's who. People we're lucky I'm a guy and you're a girl. And it
does make it a little easier.
Everyone knows that I'm Eric, or at least they should know when I'm talking. That's Eric talking.
Unless I'm sick and congested like now. And I kind of sound a little doodly.
Yeah, but you did a really good job. It was fun to listen to, or it was fun to edit and hear about the whole thing and what you guys did and had the extra night and all that. So yeah, you, Charlotte, Brian,
Julia,
Patrick, Julia. That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
So welcome to the pod
We had a good time. They're always wonderful people to talk to. So I'm very happy that they could join me.
But you forgot one thing.
What did I forget? Oh, don't forget to stretch. I totally was just trying to make it like, I don't know, sound good for a cheers kind of thing, and I totally spaced it. See, that's what happens when you're not around.
Yeah, you spaced it. I was like editing. I was like, it's over, just like that. Where's the rest? Where's the ending?
Trying to keep it under a time limit, which didn't really happen, but I attempted.
It's all right. Yeah, it was all good. It was all good. I had a lot of fun. So, anyways, that was cool. Lots of pod fam. All had a blast this weekend in Chicago. You had FOMO. I had FOMO. I think we should shout them out right now before we get to our amazing guest. I think you have the list.
Let's do it.
You have the list. Let's hear it.
I have my list. I don't know who I'm missing because I totally apologize if I miss some people. I know you had a nice list, so you fill in when I miss stuff.
Oh, so I'm gonna have to track this. Okay, you tell me who ran.
All right, I've got Jared and his Boston running partner, Jordan. They were crushing it today. Janine and Josh from Team Longevity. Josh, congratulations, by the way. You freaking smoked it. I don't know if that's a BQ for you, but like, fantastic job. It's super fast. We got Kristen and Crystal from the Local Legends podcast. How about
That's
them?
right.
They are smoking fast too. Abby Bandai. Abby was there. I did not know until I was just scrolling social media today and I saw that she finished. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. So I didn't really track her, but
Same,
she
actually.
did great.
I missed her on my post, so same.
We had Wyatt. Wyatt was there for State 39.
Okay.
He ran it in a toga, so I think that's freaking awesome. He just continues to amaze me with all of his. He just has fun with it, and I'm very happy for him. I really wish I had the A, money, and B, time off to do that challenge because I think that would be super fun. But anyways, we had Yuki, who was out there crushing it. She had a really cute Chicago Bulls outfit on this time. We had Beard out there. And then AJ from around here, he's my fellow Team Pro ambassador for Pro Compression Socks. So, and also from Peloton, Tunde ran, and she did great
cool.
too.
Not
So
part
who
of
am I missing?
PodFam yet.
Right, but who am I missing?
I got a couple others. We have Bears Girl 67. We have
That's Janelle.
Yeah, we have Mike, who is not a guy on the podcast, but he's funny. He tags us a bunch of shit. His name is Kinetic Potential.
I missed Joey Thompson. Joey did awesome too.
Cool.
He's a friend of Maurice and stuff.
Mike went to Timberlane, the same high school as me, so a little older than me. Yeah,
excellent.
No, I have, and then Letty was there, but I think Letty was doing something a little different. I think she was doing something a little more like media, which is kind of cool.
How cool is that?
Yeah, pretty cool.
I'd love to be on that side too.
Yeah.
I was just missing out on the whole vibe of Chicago. Hopefully next year, I'm gonna throw my name in the hat again.
So I have 3 more who did it who you didn't list, but we have Lauren Gerton, we have Maggie B Runs 84, and Running on Points channel, and that's Jonathan and Amanda. So they're all pod fam or followers, and I made the post like who's running the race or who's cheering for the pod fam. So I made sure to throw in everyone who wrote I'm running the race on my list.
Nice.
And the only person I missed was Abby Bandai. I'll just add her to it, but yeah, awesome. It did look cool. You know, I'm lucky I didn't get in, to be honest, because when we went for the lottery last year, this is a hard weekend to do it. Like it's Columbus Day weekend, cheerleading. There's no chance I was going to get out there. So,
oh wow,
yeah, I'm not.
Are you never going to be able to run it ever?
Not until cheerleading's over. No chance.
Dang.
No chance.
Oh, dang.
Unless this is my job.
Well, I don't know, man.
We need to make
Passive
that happen.
Income.
Yes, we need to make that happen. And we're going to continue to make that happen with our amazing guest today. I'm super pumped because I love her. She's amazing. We've been following her and fans of her for many, many, many years. She was on episode 99 with her Will Run For It podcast family.
Oh, yeah.
And we finally got to have her for her own episode. And this is interesting. So again, it's our Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we are doing this. It's our 3rd year doing this series. And we want to highlight and talk about how the running community really comes together for really anyone with cancer. But the breast cancer is such a big month and such a big deal. And we got really fortunate when we started this thing 3 years ago with some amazing people who were runners and learning everything that the running community does for the breast cancer community. So what's interesting is our guest today, Erin Petz from the Will Run For It podcast. She's our first guest in this series, 3 years going now, who is currently thriving with breast cancer. So everyone else in the past was a survivor. As we're calling it now. She is thriving with breast cancer.
And we are cheering her on every step of the way. Erin is just out there doing amazing things. I mean, she was just out there today with Michael from Will Run For, and they were both running ultras today.
And we're going to talk about that after.
Yes, but we love Erin. She's amazing. And I appreciate her just sharing her whole story with us and educating us a little bit because breast cancer is still not my area of expertise. So any information that I can gain from them, I'm very happy to learn.
Yeah.
So thank you, Erin, and can't wait to hear your interview.
Erin's awesome. You guys are going to love this. So enjoy Erin Pets on the On the Runs podcast, and we'll see you on the other side. Our next guest on the pod is one of the amazing co-hosts from the Will Run For podcast. Erica met her at the Loopy Looper when they both were wearing sparkly skirts. She wants to pet all the pets, and she's here for our Breast Cancer Awareness Month on the pod to share her story. We are wicked excited to welcome Erin Pets back to the On the Runs podcast. What's up, Erin?
Hello.
That was awful. Oh my God, but we're going to roll with it. Wow.
Can't wait to see which take you pick.
Oh, that's the take, the third one. If you want to hear the first two takes, listen after the outro music. Wow.
You did great, buddy.
Erin, you jinxed me because you were on the Troes. You were on the Troes for us just 10 minutes ago, and you're like, that was really good.
Yeah. So it's
We're not perfect.
I totally jinxed you. Either way, it's a step above the nonsense that the Will Run For podcast begins with. So you guys are way ahead of us.
Not a step above, just different. We're on the same level, and the guy who does the intros has the same amazing hair just like me. So
I gotta say, even through all those mistakes, you just bring the energy. You just keep it up high the whole time. So
that's what I say. You got to bring the energy. But Erin, what's up? How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Good. Usually I have to I don't know the guests, and I'm trying to dig, find some stuff, and then I'm uncomfortable. But now I'm just like, this is cool. We got Erin Pets. But the funny thing is, I just learned your last name is Pets.
Well, that's because it's generally a secret.
we're gonna have to bleep it out now.
That'd be hilarious, actually. Funny story. Diana Shamrock, we had known each other for probably 2 to 3 years at that point. And I was driving down with a couple friends, and they were already there with a couple friends. So they were going to do bib pickup for us. And we had known each other for a long time at that point. And she was embarrassed because she texted me and she's like, I know we've known each other for a really long time, but I have no idea what your last name is in order to pick up your bib.
That's great.
And it's because I don't put my last name is nowhere on social media. So unless you literally asked me, you would have no reason you would know.
That is kind of a fun fact.
I didn't know.
Now.
You slept in my camper in my bed, and I didn't even know your last name.
It's true. It's true.
Not with you. Not with
me.
No, you were not in the bed. My husband was in the bed with me without you.
Oh, that's just funny.
Yep. I gave up the bed and slept on the bunk bed for the night. That was a rough sleep for me, but it was a good morning.
I feel bad for that then.
Oh, I don't feel bad because, you have cancer, as you always say on the podcast.
That's true.
And then Tom goes, you don't say, you never mention that.
Another random anecdote. Yesterday I was running a half marathon, and we had gotten the notification that they run out of medals, that it was an overwhelming amount of signups that they weren't expecting, and that they weren't sure that they were going to have enough medals, because I guess they were assuming maybe if everyone comes, we will not. But, they always count for DNSs, but they wanted to make sure they gave that expectation that if you were one of the last finishers, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely not getting a medal because I am way back of the pack now. So we got there, we're running, and there's an out and back, and I'm telling my friend Dana, I'm like, I'm just going to start screaming, I have cancer. Can someone save me a medal?
That's awesome.
If I heard you say that, I would have been one of the first. Here, you take this. I'll get one later. It's fine.
She's like, you can't do that. I'm like, why not?
Dude, I give you the pass. Go for it.
Yeah, use the cancer card, as you call it.
Cancer card for everything now.
Yes,
cancer
absolutely.
card just gets used for everything.
Actually, fun fact, this is our third year doing the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but you are our first ever guest during the month who currently has cancer.
Oh, okay.
Typically, everyone in the past, they've been a survivor. Well, they have to be a survivor, I guess, right, Erica?
Yeah,
but they've been survivors.
They say that you are a survivor the moment you get diagnosed, but a lot of people in the community will call it thrivers.
Thrivers.
So,
okay.
I like that
survivors
so much
and thrivers.
More. It sounds so much better.
Yeah.
Do you know how that came to be?
No, I mean, I know that I've seen it a lot. that's probably been around for a long time, but like I'm part of like a couple different groups, and like one of them is the triple negative breast cancer thrivers group, and it's so everybody who's in there is considered a thriver, but the metastatic breast cancer community is kind of its own thing, and like we're always going to be in it is usually the feeling on the metastatic breast cancer part of it. So we can get into that part in a little bit, though.
Yeah, we want to know more about you, Erin, because we had you on with the rest of the We'll Run For podcast crew. You guys are awesome, but we didn't get a chance to really dig into you personally. So now that you have your own episode, we do want to get to know you better. So
Ooh.
what can you tell us about how you started running? Like where did your running journey begin? Did you run like in high school? Did you play some sports?
I mean, I played soccer for some years of my life, but not anything like serious. I was never great at it. But no, I was not a runner until I was in my 30s. I think that I was like, I always say that I was a running dabbler. Like I would think to myself, oh, I want to be a runner. So then I would go out and I would try and run a mile and I would hate it. So then I would quit. Or like I would do it for like
occurrence.
2 weeks and then I'd be like, all right, this is dumb and I'm not doing it anymore. So I was never consistent with it. So like many times through probably my 20s and early 30s, I would like think to myself, oh, I'm going to do this. Like couch to 5K, let's go. And then I'd like quit. And then sometime around 2013, 2014, I had a lot of stress in my life and I was going out on like daily walks to sort of just like for some mental health.
Yeah. Little release.
Yeah. And so along the way, I was doing it so frequently that I'd be like, I wonder if I could run to that like mailbox or like, so then I would like trot to the mailbox and then I'd walk again. And so I kind of like became an intervaler accidentally where I would just be like set small goals of like, oh, I'm going to run like the half of the block. And since I did it, and so when people always ask me like, what's my advice for first time runners? It's always that like, don't just go out there and try and run a mile because a lot of times that's what makes you give up because you're like, oh my God, this is so hard. And so I think that I found that once I like actually took it slowly and that's where I was able to start to enjoy it.
That really is great advice. And yeah, I second that 100%. I always struggled just getting into it. I was a fair weather runner. So if it was raining, if it was cold, I'd be like, I'm not going outside. And I would usually just like, today's a beautiful day. Let's get outside. And that is exactly the way to do it. Just take it easy, step by step, landmark by landmark, whatever it takes.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the time, did you already know Michael, Tom, and Diana?
No, not at all.
None of them, not even one.
Mm-mm.
So the running community is how you met the three who are now your co-hosts, and one of them, your roomie.
Yes.
So what was the introduction to the running community then?
That's a good question, actually. I mean, so when I first started running, I was definitely one of those people who was also like, oh, maybe I'll do a 5K now that I'm running. And then I'm like, I'm never going to do anything more than that. And then you run the 5K and you're like, oh, maybe I could run a 10K and on it goes.
It plants the seed.
So I think when I signed up for my first half marathon is the first time I sought out like run community of like, I kind of want to find a run club or I want to find something to like have other people who are like minded and want to do this kind of thing. So I joined a local run club and I won't say anything like that. It was a great community of people, but they were not necessarily very super inclusive. Like it was like, hey, we're going to do a group run. It's going to be 10 miles and it's going to be a loop. So, but then they'd be like, all paces and all distances welcome. And you're like, that doesn't mean what you think it means.
So you were still kind of on your own running.
Yeah, so I was sort of kind of struggling to find people. Luckily, I did find a couple friends that were like kind of in my pace and I connected with them. And then along the way, I looked for running podcasts. And that's sort of how I met like the Team Shenanigans folks. I had an old friend from like college who was a runner, who threw me into this Team Shenanigans group. And I was like, I don't know what this is. And it turned out they were like mostly all Run Disney people. And so that's how I got connected with the Run Disney people.
It's like you're reading my notes.
And
natural progression.
they they also did like group runs like around the country. So like their big meetup for that year that was outside Run Disney was in Bird in Hand, which is in Pennsylvania. And so that's how I met Tom and Diana. Was they came to be part of that group run. And I think there was like 30, maybe even 40 people that flew in from all over the country to be there. And that's, I think, the first time I ever, what I call fun run, ran a half marathon where like we didn't care about time. We took selfies with like the pigs and the cows and the horses and eating cookies and taking pictures with spectators. It's where I learned that you can pet dogs while you're running. Like the previous like club that I was in was so serious, and everyone was always like looking for the next best thing, like always like trying to get faster or run better. And like I almost had stopped like loving running because I just felt like everything was always so serious. And so those were the people who taught me like what it truly meant to like fun run a race.
That's awesome. So at this point, you're doing the half marathons. You've done official ones before, or was that like your very first attempt at the distance? That's a fun way to do it, though, with like just kind of a fun run. Takes the stress and the pressure off.
My first half marathon, I came across the finish line injured and hysterically crying.
Oh, no. So not a great experience. So this other one was way, way better for you.
And that was supposed to be my one and done half marathon.
Mm-hmm. We know how well that went.
Erin, you know the rule of the pod, right? Spare no details.
Yeah, that was supposed to be my one and done. And then, of course, because like it went so poorly and I hurt my knee while doing it, I was like, well, now I have to do another one for like, vengeance sake.
Mm-hmm.
And so I signed up for another one that October because I was like October. And then as soon as like I started down that path, it was like, okay, well, I might as well sign up for another one. And then that next summer is when that next spring, I was running with a group of people, and one person was training for the Marine Corps Marathon. And my friend, this other girl that I knew was like, I've been thinking about running my first marathon. And the next thing I knew, I was being convinced to run a marathon with her.
Peer pressure at its finest.
That's what runners do. We're all really terrible influences on each other.
Uh-huh. I mean, I convinced a couple of friends to do what was my first half marathon. I got a couple of friends to do it with me, and they totally kicked my ass. But I was like, I'm not alone out here. This is great.
Yeah. Runners are terrible influences. If you want somebody who's going to tell you not to do a race, definitely don't ask me.
Same here.
Because if you're going to ask me, should I do this? I'm going to be like, yeah, why wouldn't you?
You can. It's easy.
Like, I don't understand.
I love you for it. I think that's amazing because I have the total same mentality where why not? What do you got to lose?
Yeah.
Like,
what's the worst that happened? And honestly, I am a big proponent of DNFing. Like if you start and you can't finish, so be it.
That's
like,
okay.
Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no shame in a DNF. I know it can be very hard and very emotional for some people, but I love a good DNF. You learn more from the DNF than you do from the successes.
That is true.
Absolutely.
Well, we love a good DNF story. So the more DNFs out there, the more content.
I have a lot of DNFs.
Well, tell me about this DNF. At Disney, you do a lot of Disney races.
I do.
Isn't there like a bus or something that comes along and picks
the parade
up?
Bus.
Yes.
Yeah, we call it the parade bus. Yeah.
So you had a race one day where you planned on, I guess, DNFing and getting on the bus eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about not starting the race. This was this past January when I was it was like less than a month out from when I had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And Michael and I were trying to figure out like what our calendar was going to look like. And so Run Disney for me is about the community. Like the races are great. And I love running in Disney. I love, getting to run through the castle. I love all of the characters. I love all the things about Disney. But the thing that keeps me coming back, even when Disney keeps outpricing everyone, and it's just really annoying how expensive it's gotten. But I keep going back because that's where my people are. Like all of my friends and like people are from all over the country. We have friends from like California. We have friends from like Texas. We have friends from, Chicago area. We have friends like they're just from everywhere. And it's the place where we can all come together and hang out. So it meant a lot to me to go this year because I wasn't sure what my life was going to look like after. So I really wanted to make that weekend work, and I hadn't planned that. I wasn't sure if I was going to even start the races, and I decided to at least do the half marathon because I knew that I could at least walk a full half marathon if I needed to.
Mhm.
But I didn't know that if I could walk a marathon, especially after walking a half marathon.
Right. It's a lot.
So I was like, I'm probably not even going to start. It rained for the half. Like stormed. So they cut the course and it was only like 7.6 miles. So everyone was like, well, then you might as well get some more miles in tomorrow.
There you go. Good friends. They tell you to keep going.
I know. My friend Sam, who is what was called a perfect dopey. So he's done every single dopey since the beginning of dopey.
Wow.
Since I started doing it.
10 now, right?
11? 10?
It's more than 10. 10,
11.
23 was, this year coming up would be 12.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Erica will be back for the 15th then. She likes anniversary years.
I do like
they're good
anniversaries,
years.
but we'll see.
So he is an extremely fast walker and he walks almost an exact 16-minute pace. So he was like, I'm going to walk you through, like, you're going to do it. We'll get to Magic Kingdom and then you can, do whatever you want. I was like, all right. So that's what I did. We walked to Magic Kingdom. I took pictures in front of the castle. I decided that my legs still felt okay. So I walked my way to Animal Kingdom. So I did 16 miles of walking. And then I took a picture in front of the bus and said, peace out. And I got on the bus and they took me back to the finish line. So
That's still very respectable. That's a lot of miles on the legs.
Yeah. So I planned that DNF for sure.
I mean, I'll take a DNF over a DNS. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part of a race is usually the pre-race. You get there early, you mingle, you hang out with people, and then you go run. I feel like a lot of people kind of bail quickly after. So you showed up to the beginning, you saw everyone, they all went running, you did your thing. You got on the bus. I think you were even recognized on the bus.
I was recognized on the bus.
Because you're famous.
As Tom would say, it's the price of fame.
Yes. Yep.
Actually, when you guys come down to do Run Disney, you will find out that the party is at the finish there for sure.
Oh, no way. Okay.
They have, they've got the DJ, they've got characters.
Well, it's because the race starts at a godly hour in the morning.
That's true. Yeah. They have the beer tent, so they have they have beer and pineapple cider, and everyone just kind of hangs out.
Where do they do it? Is it in the parking lot or is it in the park?
Yeah. It's at the park. It's so you end coming through Epcot at almost every race, basically, and then you come back and around towards one of the parking lot that's in Epcot, and that's where they have like the whole finish area set up.
Well, I'm sold. I'll go down again.
And if you do the marathon, you can around the world it. So you get.
I heard about that.
You come in, you get your first beer at UK. And then you go to Germany and you get your beer in Germany. And then you go to Mexico, you get your margarita in Mexico. And then you cross the finish line with your margarita in hand.
I am obsessed with that idea. I would totally do that.
That's so cool.
For a while, there was no... actually, I probably can still say that. There was one marathon at Disney. I went over the finish line sober. I had to think about that. But
This is Disney.
Everybody's got to have a good time.
I
Why not?
can't wait. I'm more likely to show up there for the 20th anniversary, so another 8 years or so. Maybe sooner. We'll see. Maybe Disney should invite podcasters out there to run their races in live podcasts, but that's for another time. But Erin, you are here because we love you. But you're here especially this month in October because it's our Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And like I said earlier, you're our first guest who is currently thriving and has breast cancer. But we met you 2.5, 3 years ago at the Loopy Looper. You're the first podcast in the running world that we actually started to follow, and you're the only other running podcast I listen to weekly. Like I'm dedicated on Mondays to listen to it.
That.
Where there's the other ones that just tune in when like something happens I want to hear about. But then at some point during our, like we've talked and we've communicated and we've met everyone. You had me on your podcast a year ago before your diagnosis. And then less than a year ago, you were diagnosed with breast cancer. So let's start there. From what I remember listening to your podcast, you were in a rut. You're like, I'm thinking about getting a run coach. You're trying to get back into a groove. Something was going on. I think you knew something was going on, but you didn't know what.
Yeah. You don't want to spend a lot of your life doing the like what ifs and like was this and should I have known and blah blah blah. I mean you do. You go through that. Like there's no way anyone who ever has had a diagnosis of breast cancer or any kind of cancer hasn't thought to themselves, should I have known? Should there have been other signs? What if I had found it earlier? Anyone, at least in my stage, like I would say at stage 4, like, I mean, I was diagnosed from the start with stage 4 cancer. So there is a lot of that feeling of like, what could I have done and should I have known sooner? I will say that for like the last 2 years, and I'm not going to like go spend a lot of time going down this rabbit hole, even for myself. But for 2 years, I've been saying something is wrong with my body. I mean, I was fatigued all the time. I wasn't recovering from my runs the way I used to. There was just something was off, and I kept going to the doctor, and I kind of wrote it off as long COVID. Like I probably had COVID, and it's probably just, this is going to be it now. I'll have no proof. There's never going to be a time. It's just my gut instinct that, there was something there, and maybe my body spent that much time trying to fight it off before it couldn't anymore. And me running through some of that and that fatigue was because my body was still trying to fight the cancer before it actually became known to me. So I can't say for sure, but I will say that for 2 years of my life, I felt like something was wrong. So any listeners out there, if you think something is wrong, fight for yourself, advocate for yourself, go to your doctors, keep saying it, keep shouting about it until someone finally finds something, because you know your body, especially as a runner. Like, you know what you have felt like in the past. And like, I'm not saying that your bodies don't change. It's true. Like, I had my hormones checked to see whether I was in perimenopause, because I thought maybe like I'm 40. Like, it's possible I'm going to go through menopause soon. So I had my hormones checked. I had so many things done to try and see whether there was something specific wrong with me. Eventually in, I'd say around October, I started actually having pain in my breast as I was running. And honestly, running is the reason I found it when I did. It grew so fast that I think I would have found it pretty quickly either way. But that was the first inkling of like, something is not right. As I'm running, there's this pain that I'm feeling in my chest. And so, yeah.
So it was like a different pain, like nothing you've ever felt before, just from regular, I guess, movement, bouncing.
Yeah, the bouncing. It was different. Honestly, the bouncing started feeling weird. Like my breast felt heavy, and like I don't even know how to explain that other than like if you're a woman, you might understand, like, when you As I'm making the gesture for Eric here, holding my boobs.
I got the moves.
Like when you're holding them, like you can tell like one feels a little bit heavier suddenly. And like if you're a woman, like when you have your period, things can change. Like being a woman is not a fun thing sometimes. Like the amount of things our body goes through. And so I think that at one point I chalked it up to, I must be like getting my period soon. So maybe it's just like, that tenderness you get sometimes. And I chalked it up to that. And then I was wearing a vest during a trail run. And when I pulled it, like I felt like this weird, like pain in there. And I didn't have what would be considered a traditional breast lump because it just became a mass, like a big ball, super quick. And so even when I went to the doctor the first time and she felt it, she was like, it could be just a cyst because it doesn't feel like a traditional breast lump.
Mm-hmm.
But by then it was a good 5 centimeters. By the time I went and got my PET scan, it was 9 centimeters, which is like the size of a grapefruit, apparently.
Oh my God.
It's big.
Yeah.
You're our first guest with metastatic breast cancer. I'm almost 100% positive of that. Tell us more about metastatic breast cancer. And I think yours it's going to be there for a long time, right?
So
this isn't one that goes away quickly or easily.
This will be an educational podcast for your guests because
honestly,
I will say
for me too.
I had no concept of any of this stuff, like none. The amount of different types of breast cancer that are out there in this world is insane to me. You could have 50 women in a room and everybody could have a different subtype of breast cancer.
That is mind-boggling.
Stage 1, stage 2A, stage 2B, you could have stage 1 with, or you can have stage 0. You can have stage 3 with lymph node involvement. You can have stage 3 with like 8 lymph nodes involved. You can have stage 3 with only 1 lymph node involved. You could have stage 3 with HER2 positive. You could have, but negative for your other 2 hormones. You could have triple negative. You could literally have 50 plus women in a room and we could all have a different kind of breast cancer.
Wow.
It's insane. Metastatic breast cancer is, I think, the preferred term these days over stage 4. They still call it stage 4, but for the most part, if you are stage 4, the community generally calls it metastatic. And I think part of it is because the treatments have come so far that when you hear you have stage 4 cancer, you just immediately think you're going to die. Like that.
I've always thought it was terminal.
And I think that's why a lot of people don't like to use the term stage 4 anymore, because that is that's what everyone thinks of immediately. And that's what I thought. Like, to be told I had stage 4 cancer was the most devastating thing that I think that I could have ever gone through. I thought I was going to die this year. Like I just immediately assumed I was going to die. And I love my care team. I have said it many times, especially having talked to other metastatic cancer patients. My care team has never once said, I'm going to die, or like made me feel like, as other people have said, like I have an expiration date. Like anytime I've ever asked a question, anytime I've ever done anything, my oncologist has always said to me, I can't give you an answer to that because everybody's cancer is different. All we know is that our only goal is NED, which is no evidence of disease. So their goal is no evidence of disease, so that when I do a scan, there's no evidence that there is a tumor present. It doesn't mean that I'm cancer free. I will never be cured, because that is the difference between stage 1 to 0 to 3 is they can go into remission and be considered cured. I, as a metastatic cancer patient, will never be considered cured. I can never go fully into remission and fully cured.
So even though there's no disease detected.
So there's no evidence of disease detected, but the tumor, which means that there's no solid mass tumor. So the things that you see, like the tumor that's in my breast, the tumor that's in my lymph nodes, the tumor, like whatever tumors there are, can be seen on a scan. Prior to it being able to be seen on a scan, we all have cancer cells. Like, sorry, you guys have cancer cells in your body, but your immune system is constantly fighting them. Really, what it means is that they can't see a solid mass tumor, but it does not mean that you're cancer free. And taking you off any treatment would be a risk. There are women and people who just want to take breaks from treatment, and they'll take people off treatment for like 6 months and like do a scan to make sure that things. But you will always be getting scanned regularly. You'll always be making sure the disease is not progressing. There is a extremely high risk that there'll be mets found in other places, the metastatic part of it, where it's moved to other places, because that's what metastatic cancer is. It's moved outside of the area that it originated. So to be metastatic, it means that you have evidence of the disease in like your kidney, in your liver, in your brain, in some other part of your body, is essentially what stage 4 cancer is.
That is so heavy.
And once it moves out of the area where it originated from, it means that it's had access to the rest of your body. So you might actually, even though no one can see it, there might be like cancer inside of my liver. It's not progressed to a point where you can see it.
Oh, wow. So that's something that just the scans that you're going to have for the foreseeable future are just going to have to try and see if anything changes, and if it picks it up, then treatment will change. And so what are you doing right now for treatment for it?
Well, currently I am on, like at this exact moment, I actually had radiation today. This is my first experience with radiation. Back in June, I had a stable scan, and then I started having some pain again. And so we went back and got another scan a little sooner than we would have.
Was it the same pain you had last year?
It was. And I don't know why I didn't connect this. So my metastatic cancer is because I have a mediastinal lymph node that has cancer in it, which is the lymph nodes that are behind your chest wall, like kind of by your heart and your lungs. So the scope of breast cancer is the ones that are underneath your armpit, and then a little bit into like your neck area. Those are considered within the scope of breast cancer, and they consider that to be, if they are able to get the cancer out of them, it has not accessed the rest of your body yet. But because this has gone beyond that area and made its way down the chain of lymph nodes, it's considered metastatic now. So I had a tumor removed from one of those lymph nodes to be biopsied. And that's the one that I learned now was actually the one that was causing the pain. I didn't realize it wasn't the actual breast tumor. It was that one. And the reason why I found that out was because I started having pain again at the beginning of August. I went back to the oncologist at the end of August, said, "Hey, I'm having some more pain." And he's like, "Before we do the next cycle, let's just do a scan, see what's going on." And unfortunately, it showed disease progression. One of my armpit tumors had more than doubled in size. And then one of the ones there is like a 2.5 centimeter in there. So he basically said, we could do radiation to shrink that quickly, but that's the one that's causing you the pain based off of where you're pointing. So I don't know why I didn't connect it, but when they took that out, it was because I had major surgery. They cracked me open to get into it. They like went in through the side and then like tore you.
God, Erin. None of this sounds good.
This isn't a visual medium, but I'm like using my hands to
It
like.
actually is now. I'll
I know
clip
they
that
have to
one
do
too.
that when you're having like when you have to have like heart surgery. Like
Yeah.
they do have to crack. I
Well,
watch
they
a lot
didn't
of
want to
Grey's
crack
Anatomy,
my
but,
chest,
like,
so they went in this way. But like it
Ah.
was here, so they had to like go through all of that tissue to get to
Oh
the
my
center.
gosh.
Yeah.
So they went in under my armpit, but like then you have to get
Mhm.
all the way to the center there, just so that
no.
I didn't have to worry about bones healing. But like
Right.
the rest of it was like cracked open. So
Yeesh.
so I guess by the time all of that had healed and the pain had kind of gone away, I was also in treatment. So I just kind of thought that like the pain had gone away because of that. And I didn't connect that was what was causing it. And when they removed the lymph node, they removed the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Until now, it was starting to be painful.
Gotcha.
So I'm on radiation right now so that they can at least get some of that shrunk and me more comfortable. They consider that palliative radiation, not curative radiation. So it's more for comfort than for curativeness. And then in October, I'll go back onto chemo again. And that round, unfortunately, on the when I'm going on, I've been lucky enough to not lose my hair, but looks like I'm going bald. I'm going for the Eric haircut.
Shaved, baby.
I think I saw that on some of your social media that
Yeah.
you're just gonna do it yourself and take
I am.
control.
Yeah.
I know
for
you
you.
talked about it on a previous episode, and Michael and Tom were like, "Hey, now, Diana, it's your turn." Hey, it's a great look. Whatever you choose to do, if you choose to rock it, amazing. If you choose to do something else, amazing. But if you want to know, you get cold pretty quickly up here on top. So if you put, you can wear all the hats, and you can probably do a lot of fun thing with hair. So, or wigs. I know some people do cold capping. Actually, have you ever thought about cold capping?
Yeah.
Is it
It's
how
a lot of
effective is it?
work. It depends on the person.
Right.
It's like everything else. Like it's like me. If you ask me, what's my favorite run shoe, or like what do you recommend for your run shoe? It's It's very personal. Like everyone's foot is very different. Like it's the same thing with cancer. It's like everyone like is just different. Like some people don't lose it as fast. Some people lose it in clumps. Some people get a thinning. Some people like it. And the cold capping I've heard can work, but I've heard that it can't work. And I don't want to go through like this whole thing of like, maybe I'll get to keep it and then like pay all this money to try and do it. And then like, it doesn't work. And I would just rather be like, fuck it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Shave it.
I was going to say, I feel like, shave it. I love that. I was going to say, I feel like your attitude is like, you're not worried about it too much. It is what it is. We'll see what happens.
No, I'm not going to see what happens. I'm just shaving.
Oh, I love that.
It's going.
I love that you're just going to
She's
go
taking
for it.
control.
Yeah. Well,
we have a date?
I've talked to a number of people who are on my treatment. It's called Trodelvy. And almost everyone I know, there's only one person out of all of, so they say 50-50 is about like the statistic. But the thing that I don't think that I realized until I started talking to these people were, yes, they're the 50% that get to keep their hair. They keep their hair to a point, but it's still
very thin.
It gets to the point where it's like they still lose like 50% of it to like 70%. And I'm not walking around with 30% of my hair. So I would rather just be like,
I love that you're going for it.
Yeah. So my treatment starts on the 14th of October, and I am shaving my head on the 11th of October.
Hey, I'll do it with you.
Eric will do it with you.
Erica, are you in? Let's shave our heads.
I have a weird bump in my head. I don't know.
I mean, I do
love
too,
you,
but I don't got
love
a
you
choice.
for it, Erin. No.
You could donate it and I'll grow back, Erica. Erin, I want to ask you, a big reason we did this 2 years ago with breast cancer awareness and being a running podcast was how amazing the running community is. Have you found the same things with the breast cancer community, or have you really just stuck with the running community because you already you have that group. You have a big Disney running community as well, and they're supportive. Are you involved in both? Are you just sticking with the running
You
group,
know,
or?
it's hard. I know that when I introduced one of your episodes, we brought up that I have a running podcast called Pace Yourself, It's Just Cancer, that we're just starting up this month. Because I will say the community of runners out there, or the community of cancer survivors, thrivers out there that also run, is even smaller than the running population portion of so like they say what, like 1% of the United States has run a marathon. So of that 1%, like, I don't know if there's even 10% of them have run with cancer or after surviving cancer. I mean, then you're looking at an even smaller population. So it's been hard because I'm generally a person who wants everything to stay the same. Like, I don't want to be treated different. This is just my life now. I have been saying, like, metastatic cancer, if you can control it, yes, there's a lot of things that like are unknown constantly, and treatments are changing constantly, and something will work for like a year from like, this is what I'm getting from like most of the community. Something will work for like a year, 6 months, whatever. And then you have to move on to another treatment, and that'll work for a year. And so there's constantly these changes and all this stuff going on. But like, I wanted everything to sort of stay the way it was. Like, I wanted to be active. I wanted to still run. I still wanted to vacation. I still wanted everyone to treat me the same. I didn't want like all this sympathy. I didn't want all these people being like, oh, I'm going to pray for you. Oh, you're in my thoughts. Oh, like I get that. Like, that is well meaning, and I understand where it's all coming from, but I am still the same person. It's a chronic illness at this point. Like, treatments change, but ultimately it's like anybody else who has an invisible disease. You hear about people who have POTS now, which is huge, much bigger post COVID. You hear, people who run that are blind. You have the entire Achilles organization, who like athletes with disabilities. That's all this really is at this point. It's just a disability that I have ultimately. And it is actually an ADA protected disability, stage 4 cancer. So it's just a chronic illness I have, and I have to learn how to manage it, but still live my life. And I think what I have struggled with is that the cancer support community is wonderful, but a lot of it is talking about cancer.
And you don't want your life to revolve around the cancer. You just want to be normal. You want to be you. So I get that.
That sounds so weird to say. Like, the cancer community is just cancer, because obviously that's what it is.
Well, here's my breakdown of it. Cancer community versus running community. A cancer community is the type of people who you all have cancer, and you're here to talk about it. And I'm here if I don't have cancer, but let's just say you're talking to someone else who has cancer. The two of you are going to talk about it, and you're there to talk to each other and to hear each other out. And I'm there for you type of person. Where the running community, in my mind, is more that motivational kind of community. And they're the ones who will kind of like pump your tires or motivate you, like, you can do this and you got it, because they do it for anyone who wants to run a marathon or a half marathon or 5K. And they're going to do it as well for you to battle cancer. You can do it. You got it. Versus maybe I'm completely wrong, but that cancer community will be like, I'm here for you to listen.
Yeah. And there's something to be said for the cancer community, because like, I follow like a ton of like meme cancer IGs, and like, I'm all about the humor and the dark humor. And, they always reference like cancer muggles, like Harry Potter, like being a muggle. Like, cancer muggles just don't get it. And it is true to an extent. Like, it is impossible. And I said this on our podcast yesterday when we were introducing this podcast. It is impossible for somebody who hasn't gotten diagnosed with cancer to understand what it is like to have that defining moment in your life where you know that nothing will ever be what it once was. Like, no matter how much I say, like, I want to be treated like a normal person, I want to like do all the things I've always done, inherently my entire life is different than it was before December 14th of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fact. So I think there's something to be said for needing those people in your life. And maybe that's what kind of drew us to this idea of starting this podcast, because you need people who understand that feeling, but you also need the people who understand the feeling of like, I have to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to keep living my life. And I'm not saying that the people who are in just the cancer community alone are not like that. It's just a different type of way about it. There's just something a little different about it.
I think your podcast is going to be great for the cancer muggles, because I think it's going to help us understand a little bit better of what you guys are going through. Because honestly, all of this, the jargon going on, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And it is hard to relate. And I want to treat you guys normal, but it's going to take an adjustment for me. So I need to hear from all of you about how you're feeling and how I could be a better support system for you without making you feel that certain type of way that you don't want to feel, you know. Like, I think it's going to be beneficial to both parties, because you guys all have your different experiences, and we're just kind of on the outside. We want to be there for you, and we just need to know how. We need to know the right way. So
Yeah.
you guys are going to be a great
I will say,
show.
Here's one thing you don't say to a cancer patient when they say, like, your mortality is in front of you every single day of your life. And then you walk up to them and you're like, how you doing? And you're like, I don't know. I have cancer. You know, I'm going to die. You know, who knows when I'm going to die? And then you say, well, we're all going to die someday. And you're just like, cool story, bro.
Wrong answer. Wrong answer. See, that's something we're learning, and I will know never to say to someone
who have said it to me is absolutely insane.
Oh my God.
Why do you think they say it? Are they like?
No, they don't know what to say.
Panic.
It's
They're
because you don't know what to say. Yes. And like,
just watch their eyes glaze over, like, oh no, I made a mistake.
We're still like normal people. We just have cancer. I don't know. Like, but they feel the need to say something, and that often is what ends up being said.
Yep.
Well, Erin, I don't know if you know this. You said you want to be treated just like a normal person, but you are not a normal person. Not only do you have cancer, but you're training to run the New York City Marathon and the Dopey Challenge. That is not normal, but that is awesome.
Stay inactive.
Inactive treatment. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's been harder than it's been even harder than I expected. And like, I should have expected it to be hard, but I think it's still harder than I expected. I am so much slower than I used to be. And I'm going to give a huge shout out to the Back of the Packers, because I finished a half marathon yesterday. I think I was 14th from last, and it is thin at the back of that pack. And I will say this race was really great because they had water and the stations were up all the way through the end. And I've heard lots of stories where that is not the case. So they still had all the pizza. They still had all of the goodies at the end of the race. So that was really great. But man, it takes you so, like, I have even more respect than I ever did before for Back of the Packers, because you hear people like, you know, there's the elitists runners out there who, like, you know, whatever. But then you hear like some professional runners who are like, I have more respect. Like, I can do a 2.5 hour marathon, but I have more respect for the people who have to be on their feet for like 8 hours to even to get across that finish line. And man, let me tell you how hard it is, because even my training runs now, it's like, God, like, it just takes so much longer to do that training run. Like, what I could when I could do a 10 miler in an hour and 40 minutes, now it takes me 2 hours and 10 to 15 minutes. Like, it's a big block of my day to, like,
I just have so much respect though for sticking it out, the sheer determination in the whole of the Back of the Packers. I think I love to see it, because it really does, like, kind of gives you a little hope for humanity, knowing that people are just out there doing what they want at the pace that they can,
Yeah.
just making it happen.
Yeah.
And
I've loved the backpackers. I fully believe parties in the back, and I have paced with some friends in the past, and like I'll slow down. Like I've always been one of those people who is like, I will slow down to whoever wants to go the slowest. Like if we're doing a group run and you are the slowest person,
Absolutely.
I'm not leaving you.
I love me a walk break.
Yeah.
It's great.
But it's difficult to go the opposite way, to be the person who you feel like yesterday I ran this half marathon. I kept saying to my friend Dana, just leave me for dead. It's fine. Just leave me for dead. Just you go. And she's like, but I like walking. I'm like,
I think you picked a great marathon though, because New York City is great with the final finishers. They really do.
Yeah.
Like people stick around all through the night, no matter how long it takes people.
And they extended the final finish to 10 p.m.
Did they? That's great. Because I've watched the live stream of that, and it's just like I will get emotional just watching.
I wanted
it's so
great. Bad, and I was just so tired. We had been cheering for. I honestly don't know whether running the marathon or cheering for the marathon was more difficult at New York.
Cheering takes some effort
because we got up at 8:00 in the morning because we wanted to see all the elites go by. So we cheered from 8:00 in the morning until like it was like 6:00 by, and we were going to go to the finish line. We were going to take a little break and go to the finish line, but we had been on our feet the entire time, walking and trying to get from place to place. It was so much, and we just never made it over to the final finishers. I really wanted to do that so badly last year, and I was so tired.
That's still awesome. You were out there cheering. I mean, it really does take a lot out of you because you're just yelling the whole time. You're clapping. You're still being active. Like you're standing up the whole time. Like you're probably not eating or drinking as much as you normally would.
Not at all.
You're going through it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're running a marathon, so those people get all the credit. But I'm just saying it was harder than I was expecting.
Yeah.
We make it look good at mile 19 of the Boston Marathon, but they don't see the behind the scenes. Yeah, there's a lot of walking and carrying stuff. It's hard.
It's hard.
Like you should be cheering for us.
Yeah, right?
What's the game plan for New York, though, outside of the actual run?
Well, so I actually raised $5,600 for Fred's team, which is Sloan Kettering Memorial Hospital. It's a research hospital. It's like always in the top 5 cancer hospitals in the United States, ranked every year. It's a research hospital. They do a ton of really amazing stuff. It's one of the top in the nation. And when you run for Fred's team, they're actually the team I ran for when I ran New York last time as well. But I ran it in honor of some family members who had passed away at that time. But this time I'm running it for myself, obviously. But I decided to raise money. The nice thing about Sloan Kettering is or Fred's team is that you get to choose where your donations go. So
really, well, that's cool.
Yeah. So when you sign up, you can designate where you want your money to go for research. So last time I did melanoma because one of the people that I was running for had died of melanoma. Obviously this time I did breast cancer, but yeah, you can run for liver cancer, for throat cancer, for lymphoma, for leukemia. So you can pick where your money which pot your money is going to go to.
That's amazing.
So I raised about $5,600. I may post again and see whether I can get a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I will be going to like that dinner. I think Friday night is when that dinner is. And then I got the start tent. I raised enough money to get to the start tent. So, and Fred's team has its own transportation bus, so I don't have to worry about transportation.
Beautiful.
It was actually really why I did Fred's team again, because I really wanted the transportation and not to have to worry about the ferry or like picking a bus or like any of the logistics.
Good thinking. Clutch move.
And then I got lucky. I reached out to Fred's team because, they're the second largest New York City charity. The first one being Team for Kids. I believe. They have a huge, 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 huge team. But I figured they would have more connections. So I emailed them and I just said, hey, I know that cancer is considered part of the ADA, disabilities. Is there any way to get athletes with disabilities, or like what are there any options for it? Because I will be in active treatment. And so they reached out to their contacts. I filled out some forms, and they got me the designation. So I actually will get to go off in wave 1.
Oh, great.
Because I would have probably been in wave 5 and kind of at the back of wave 5, and I wouldn't have started until like 11:30, maybe even a little later. But now I will actually get to start with wave 1. So I will start early and have a huge buffer of time is my hope.
And the huge crowds to keep you going.
Yeah.
And knowing you, and when we had you on last time, you have good runner's etiquette.
Oh.
You know how to run/walk in a marathon with lots around you. And I imagine because you do think you're going to be a back of the packer, people will be passing you.
Yeah.
And you know what to do, unlike others.
Move over to the side so that people can pass me.
Raise
my hand if I'm going to walk.
Give high fives to all the, since you're on the side, give high fives to everyone.
All the dogs that I can find.
Yes. Yep. Oh, you got to get the Kelly Roberts dog counter.
Oh, yeah. I also want to find the duck.
Anything, but
I want to find the duck. There's a duck on First Ave. So
I'm thinking of the one that there's like a duck that actually runs like races. So this is different.
Yeah. No,
this is awesome.
This is the duck that chases the runners and then comes back and then chases some runners. And
I think it's the same duck, Erica.
Is it? Oh, because I see it with like little shoes on and stuff, and it's just really cute. So okay,
I don't think I don't think a duck actually runs a marathon or a full race.
Well, I'm not saying it runs a whole marathon, but like I think I said race. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
maybe a 5K.
I don't know, but that's cute.
Maybe the New York Mile or something.
I'm all about that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to remember on race day to look for that duck.
Well, you come up with your list of a few things to do in that race, and I'm going to come up with mine because we have Pod Fam in New York City, and that is my sister Hannah.
Have literal famine.
We have Allie G. I think there's going to be a lot of people out there. I have a feeling like Josh Vernon will be out there. So if he's out there, we'll say, "Hey, you got to find
with
Erin."
All the Peloton trainers.
Yeah, go find Bex. That's a challenge.
It's Wrinkle the duck. His name is Wrinkle, and most of the headlines do say Duck runs New York City Marathon. He didn't quite run the marathon.
I have been misled.
Yeah. So you've been misled.
Damn headline.
I think I found him on
Erica's
Instagram
over here
or TikTok.
spreading fake news.
Hey, I didn't write the headline. That's cute,
I think
though.
I follow Wrinkle on TikTok, actually.
He runs his own TikTok account, too. That duck can do it all.
So now, sticking to you not being normal, Erin, after the New York City Marathon, you're already deep in dopey training.
Yeah, I'm just gonna maintenance run my way to
it's
dopey.
Just icing on top of the cake.
Maintenance
no big deal.
Yeah.
So this will be my first official dopey. The year that I signed up for dopey originally, for the anniversary year, I had said that if I was ever going to do dopey, it would be for charity and for an anniversary year. So for the 10th anniversary, I had signed up. I raised money for American Cancer Society before I even had cancer. And then I got a stress fracture. So I ran the 5K, the 10K, and the half, and then just cheered the marathon.
That's awesome that you pivoted.
Yeah.
Because I would have been probably in the like depression hole where I'm like, damn it, I should be out there. But
I was kind of. It was not like easy. Like I think we did a whole episode that year too on the emotions of running, and we let everyone send in their stories of like the hardest parts about like running and like when it's hard, like running is hard, and like when you're running when you're injured, it can be like really mentally difficult to like be watching all of your friends do this and have to like erase your entire training schedule or your entire race calendar. So I had said that I had no desire for doing dopey after that. That was just going to be my like one and done, whether or not I did it or not. And I was ready to stick to that until I got cancer. And then I was like, well, fuck. Now I feel like I gotta like prove
I'm gonna show you
that I
cancer.
can do this shit.
I'm gonna give it everything I got.
So Michael's like, yeah, I mean, it'll give you something to work for, keep you active, keep you motivated. So
Yeah.
You just mentioned Michael. What's Michael been like during this whole process?
I mean, he's the best. I jokingly say, and maybe it's only half a joke, that I ruined his life. Well, I mean, we got married and
So
then like,
modest,
2
Erin.
years later. I mean, this is not the life he signed up for.
You guys are a great match, though. You can just see the chemistry you guys have.
Poor guy. So yeah, I mean, he's been great. I mean, he has his days too. It's hard. That's the part where I say, like, we would love to have some guests on who are caretakers and have to like watch, because it's also, there's something to be said for watching someone you love go through it too. Like it's a different experience for him, but it's still one that's probably just as painful, just painful in a different way. And so it's hard because we don't really get to run together as much as we used to. And so our training schedules are very different now. We used to run out in the woods regularly, and I don't really trail run that much anymore. Everything's a lot harder. So we just have a very different life than what like we quote unquote imagined. But like, that's life, I guess. Nothing necessarily goes the way you want. I mean, I wanted to run 100 miles at one point, and I think that I have to be more realistic about where my life is at this point.
I'm like, come back to the dark side, Erin. I'll do it with you. Speaking of that loopy looper, I'm in next year.
I do still really want to like put some of these things back maybe one day, but we'll see.
Erica,
but
wait.
Yeah, he's great.
Erica, wait, you just committed to Loopy Looper?
Oh, yeah. I'll probably do like the 12 hour or something, but I'll be there. I'll hang out.
All right. Do you know when it is, the dates next year?
It's usually the first weekend in August.
That's why I'm only going to do the 12, because I'm still, I think, this is off topic, but Anchor Down, which is the weekend after Loopy Looper, they just announced the theme, and I think it's like, I forget what it was, into the Forged and Fire was this year. I forget, but I might do 24 next year.
Today they just wait, what?
Yeah, it's making
24 hours?
Yeah.
Anchor Down?
I might.
This
Into the Abyss. How perfect is that?
This is
the
huge
perfect year
news.
to try.
You're ruining Erin's episode by breaking news.
It's fine.
No.
Well, no,
the reason
you don't get to cut that.
Yeah. Anchor Down, the dates came out today. It's August 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Which
so
I
Loopy
feel
Looper's
like
the weekend before.
So are we sure Loopy Looper's August 2nd then?
Usually.
Usually it's the first weekend.
Yeah.
So
August 2nd technically is the first weekend. So it just, the numbers threw me off because I'm used to Anchor Down being like in the teens and Loopy Looper being like the 7th. So.
Oh, it's like the 9th this year or the 10th
you're
or
in.
something.
You're in. This is awesome.
I haven't officially committed to anything.
No, you
yet,
did,
but...
Erin. You heard it, right?
Yeah, it was Saturday, August 3rd this year. So I would assume that it would just be.
It makes sense. I'm just losing it. I
was trying to get Jess Lindemann to do it with me because she just did her Pemberton thing. So I was like, hey, since you're on the ultra high, come do a race. I don't know. This is where the
Down is one of those ones that's always like been like, I mean, we've heard of Anchor Down even long before, we knew you guys. So like, that's always been like one of the ones that we're like, oh, that would be a good race to do.
Are you still thinking about coming to Washington?
Maybe I'll make Michael run that one so that
I would love to see you guys there. We could all be miserable together.
I'm not going to run the 100 miles, but I'll make.
Oh, you just hang out. That's going to be great.
Well, this year Michael did Mount Washington with me, and you were kind of like, you had some FOMO.
Yeah, I mean, that was like that there was some contention on that race actually, because he signed up when we had always said that we were going to do that together. Then he signed up, and I just cried that I had cancer. It was the whole thing.
You
But
guys
you-
got to do it again then.
But you had
Both
a
of you.
great time.
Oh,
You
yeah,
went
it was
camping.
fantastic.
You
Yeah.
got to hang out in the
And
car
we
with
met
a wicked
Sammy.
cool kid.
Sammy was really great. Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
be honest. It was
It
Nala.
was Nala. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
It's all about the dog.
all about the dog. Who I still regularly tell her I love.
Yes.
Aw.
Sometimes she's messaging me about something, and then I'll be like, "Oh, by the way, tell Nala I said hi." Well, Erin, you're a fan of the pod. I believe you're part of our pod fam. I think you know what's coming up next. We have two big questions.
Oh, I should have thought about this.
Yes. So my first one is the Code Brown Commandment, and you know very well what a Code Brown is, but we've expanded that to an oh crap moment. And a Code Brown Commandment can be a way to avoid an oh crap moment. So, or tips like thou shall use diaper rash cream when you chafe. Post chafing, by the way, guys, not during your run, but
Yeah, because I remember when we did this with the other podcast. Was this where we talked about this hand sanitizer?
Oh, it's like icy hot for your butthole or something.
icy hot for your cornhole.
Your cornhole. There we go. I knew it was something like that. Classic.
I'm really bad about this because I don't really take care of those things.
What about
I eat Indian food the night before races sometimes. So
Thou shalt push the limits. How's that, Erin?
Yes, I like to push the limits.
Is there a Code Brown Commandment for someone going through breast cancer? Maybe not running wise, but
oh man, yeah. So I actually have so I was told you either have one or the other. You either have extreme constipation or you have
There is no in between.
the diarrhea, and there's not much in between.
Oh
and
no.
so I unfortunately got the constipation. And you would think that means that's not unfortunate, but it actually is. It's by you have treatment on Wednesday and by Sunday you haven't pooped. It's
oh
rough.
God, that sounds terrible.
You're putting more food into your body and you're just shoving it down and nothing's coming out, so it just keeps on piling on. You're just piling and piling and piling. You're welcome. You're very welcome. And so I have spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to combat constipation. And my best friend is yogurt, actually, these days. Probiotics, man. Natural probiotics. I take a probiotic pill, but I also eat a lot of yogurt now. So if you're having issues the other way before a race, eat some yogurt. It's got some good gut health going on there.
I like it.
I like where you went.
We never think about that because everybody just talks about shitting themselves when they run. But when you can't go, it is so uncomfortable. You get bloated and you just feel gross.
There have been
and you're
actually mornings where I'm like, oh no, I need to poop and I can't poop. How do I make myself poop? Before a race, because otherwise your stomach feels like that hard, and you're like, oh God, now I have to run with this.
Yeah. So thou shalt eat your yogurt to stay regular.
I was trying to give Erin a quick buyout by saying something like "thou shall get checked," but she understood the assignment.
No,
she knows we're on the runs.
Real.
No,
this is more real.
I mean, you wanted poop conversation.
Yep.
I'm going to give you a poop conversation.
Love it. Understood the assignment. You brought it. You delivered.
All right, Erin, I've got one for you too, and this one, I don't know. It could go either way, as a difficult or an easy question, but we have our Spotify playlist, and you guys picked a great one last time. Was it Foo Fighters? I think you guys picked one of the Foo Fighters songs.
Tom. We let Tom pick.
Yep. So
Tom seems to be a big
pick
music
yourself,
guy.
Though.
Will this be weird? I don't listen to music at all. I'm not a music person. I mean, I know music. I know what's out there. I listen to but I even regularly, not on a run. I don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts and I listen to audiobooks.
Well, then this may be the perfect opportunity to once again plug your podcast, the Pace
Oh, yeah.
Yourself. It's
I mean-
Just Cancer podcast.
If you would like to listen to a podcast while you're running, you can listen to, as of October 1st, you can listen to Pace Yourself, It's Just Cancer, or the Will Run for podcast.
That's
And,
perfect.
Yeah. We've got a
Love
weird
it.
vibe. Both of them are going to end up with like, we're a whole vibe. Two different vibes, but they're vibes.
I love it. Maybe I don't know if I can add a single episode to the playlist, but maybe I'll add Eric's Inside the Runner Studio to,
Oh, yeah.
to the playlist. Get
That was a
little
great episode.
Best of both worlds.
And that's actually, I wanted to ask you this. On your podcast, all you have different roles. What are the roles that you do when someone's like checking out the Instagram or listening? You do a lot of the artwork, I think. What else do
Yeah,
you do?
I do all of the artwork and like the episode descriptions. Michael does all the editing. Diana's just the talent, and she also looks pretty.
Did you see Erica there? She's like
she's
me.
just a talent. I'm like, yay, it's me.
And Tom's just the sexy host. You can't
That's you.
Oh, thank you. With the great shaved head. Tom was like, I love that you call it shaved. I'm like, of course, dude, of course. Well, Erin, this was awesome. Listen, you've been a friend of the pod for a long time. We were just getting started when we met you. I unfortunately didn't get to meet you, and when we did, Erica did. But I felt like when you showed up to the campsite before Mount Washington, it was like we've known each other for years. And we realized later that we just actually met for the first time.
Yeah.
I just think that shows like this whole community, running and podcasting community, is a lot of fun. You guys are wicked cool. I enjoy
it's my favorite part about the community, actually, is that like you connect with people so much that when you finally do meet them in person, you're like, oh, shit, we've never met.
Yeah.
And it's real weird.
Yeah.
I love it too. It makes it so much easier because I get awkward around new people, and if I get to talk to you ahead of time, it's more of a comfort thing. And I was like, all right, we can be real with each other. I can be weird around you. This is good.
Well, Erin, this was awesome. Thanks so much. I want to give you one last chance to either pump the tires for the new podcast, for your current podcast. Where can people find you? Do you have anything you want to say to anyone? Is there anything we might have missed here before we go?
Yeah, floor is yours.
Oof, that's a lot of things. Well, you can find me along with like almost 5 years of back episodes over at Will Run for Podcast on Instagram. You can find our new podcast, Pace Yourself It's Just Cancer on Instagram as well. There is a little period in there. You can find me at Erin Just Keeps Running. There are periods between each of the words on Instagram.
I'll have all this in the show notes. I think the period, by the way, is a nice touch. It looks cleaner than like the underscore.
Yeah.
I take offense to that. Thank you very much. I like my underscore. But continue.
I actually went back and forth. I did it like both ways, and I was like, which way do I like this better? And I decided on the periods. So you can find me there as well. And I don't know. For all the women out there, check your boobies. Advocate for everyone out there. Advocate for yourself when you know something is wrong. You know your bodies. Don't let doctors continuously tell you something's not that you don't understand your own body. I think that's the biggest thing is advocating for your own health, no matter whether it's an injury, whether you think you're sick, whether you think you have cancer, like whatever it is. Running injuries, it's the same thing. Like if you think something is wrong with your foot, something's probably wrong with your foot, even if they're like, oh, it's fine. You're walking. They're like, no, there's a pain. I feel it. Like something's wrong. Like advocate for yourself.
Well
I
said,
feel like
Erin.
that's a big message everyone said the last 2 years of our breast cancer month is advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't feel right, go to the doctor, tell them, stick up for yourself, advocate. So I thank you so much for coming on. You actually told us a while back that you would. I wasn't sure if I was going to ask originally because I'm like, well, we've never had someone on who is currently, as I'm going to call it now, thriving
Yeah.
with cancer. So I love that you gave me that new terminology there, that adjective. You are thriving with cancer, and you are thriving everywhere in life. You're going to do great in the New York City Marathon. You're going to do great with the Adobe Challenge. You're going to have that amazing community behind you, pumping you up and getting you motivated because, like I said about the running community, they're more that motivational. You can do it. You can do anything. You're a badass.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys, for having me. I loved this. This was so fun. I love you
Well,
guys.
we love you, Erin. Keep doing what you're doing. We love to see it. And we're going to be following along with the rest of your journey and can't wait to listen to your new podcast.
Thanks, guys.
That's right. Say hi to Diana and Tom and Michael and Ollie and everyone
Mikey.
else. Mikey. Well, Mike. I've been
can't do
saying it right all episode. I've been saying Michael. But say hi to all of them
There's no
for
right
us.
or wrong.
They're all
Except for
wicked
Mikey.
awesome.
He's going to
It's
hate
just gonna
that.
be Mikey from now
He's
on.
going to hate that.
You're all wicked awesome. You like that? I threw a little Southern and a little New England in there. You're all wicked awesome. But hey, thanks so much. I can't wait to see you again in person, maybe at Mount Washington or maybe sooner.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Erin is a huge, big member of our pod fam. She's right here on my poster for the foundation. She's been a part of this for a long time. So I'm thrilled that you came back on the pod to share your story. Erin Petz on the On the Runs podcast.
Bye, guys.
Erin, thank you so much for coming on again. We love talking to you, and we really appreciate you sharing your story with us. And you know that the whole running community is behind you for your whole cancer journey. So anything you need, let us know. But we think you're awesome, and just keep it up, girl.
Yeah, she's great. Very, very different. So metastatic cancer, right? We've never had anyone on who has that. Stage 4, which is what we learned. They don't call it stage 4 anymore or terminal. They just call it metastatic because you're going to have it forever from what it sounds like. And she's still thriving. Like she did an ultra marathon this weekend. We'll get to that in a second. And then she has her awesome podcast that just started. Episode 2 should have dropped yesterday. And remember, pace yourself. It's just cancer. So I love what she's doing. She likes the dark humor. I think you guys are going to love her if you listen to her podcast, either their podcast, but she's freaking phenomenal. She just shaved her head.
Good for you, Erin.
Looks amazing.
She took control.
Yes,
Taking control.
It looks amazing, and I can even tell when she's wearing that nice warm hat. And man, you're gonna get to wear all the hats now. It's the best. So you're gonna wear hats all 4 seasons of the year if you're like me. So we'll get her we should get her a Gritty hat.
Can it have googly eyes like Gritty has?
Googly eyes
Gritty
and
cracks me
everything.
up.
Yeah.
I freaking love him. Do you follow his account on Instagram? Honestly, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
You know, if I don't, I will. I should. I think it's just the algorithm shows me his stuff all the time.
Oh,
But I should
okay. Well, yeah.
I might actually follow him on my real account. I remember when he came out and I was like, this guy won't make it 48 hours. And it's been 4 or 5
Literally,
years.
oh,
Yeah.
Funniest
He's now the
freaking
greatest,
thing.
most famous mascot in the world. He has to be.
Probably. Everybody knows him. There are some iconic ones. You got Wally, you got the Fanatic, like there are iconic ones, but Gritty is just like chaotic. It's so much fun. So I think he's like NHL Gritty or Gritty NHL, something like that on Instagram. So go follow him if you want a good laugh. He's great.
Absolutely. They should just give him his own name, @Gritty.
Right.
That should be it. So also what happened in Erin's life today is her and Michael did an ultra marathon, and Michael did, you were telling me, a 100 miler.
Yep. I've been following along with the Will Run For stories today, and Michael did a 48-hour race and was going for a buckle. And congratulations, Michael, you did it. Your first 100.
Yeah.
How
and
do you
told
feel?
me you told me it was 100 1-mile loops.
I think they're 1 mile loops. At least that's what I gathered from his stories. He said like, oh, I have 25 miles left. That's 25 loops, and just math. It works out. So that is hard to do. Just keep doing tiny loops like that. Oof.
Well, kudos to you, dude.
Seriously.
Freaking rock
yes.
star. 100
That's
miles.
not an easy thing to do, especially on small loops.
He made a comment about his feet. And yeah, He goes, it's not postable, but if you want to see it, you can shoot him a DM and he'll send you a DM of his feet.
How about this, Michael? I'll send you one of mine from my ultra a few weeks ago if you send me one of yours. Actually, I don't really want to see it, but
Well,
I feel your pain. I know how bad the feet usually look. They're like swollen. There's blisters. There could be heat rash. Who knows? God, I know I get heat rash all the time on my feet, but you did it. It's worth it. The glory is forever.
yeah. Well, we love Michael and Erin, and we love everyone from the Will Run For podcast. Don't forget
Yes,
to
we
check
do.
out Erin's new podcast, Pace Yourself, It's Just Cancer. They're awesome. Thank you, Erin, again for coming on. Member for life of the pod fam. I think a bigger member. Just it's so cool how we met them, running into them at the Loopy Looper you did, and then I ran into Tom and Diana at the at Disney World.
Of all places, yeah.
Of all
awesome.
places. Not surprised
Right.
they were there, but just happened to be the same place, same time for me. I mean, of all the
Exactly.
people, yeah. So, fun fact, by the way, Disney World is one of the safest places to be in Florida during a hurricane.
Oh, really? I can
Yep.
imagine. Got any data to back that up?
Yeah, it was the internet. It was all over the internet last week during the hurricanes, during Hurricane Milton, which we can have fun with now, right? Like the hurricane's over. Can we? I saw the funniest meme.
Okay.
So you know the
I'm
movie.
reluctant just because I know so many people are down there and did not have a good outcome.
You know the movie. I'm going there. I'm going to go there. You
all
know
right.
the movie Office Space,
Of course.
and you know the character Milton.
Is he my stapler guy? My stapler.
The best meme I saw was, just give Milton back his stapler.
All right, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, thank you.
Everybody direct your hate towards Eric. This is his fault. So I'm just laughing. I never made the connection that Milton, that was his name in the movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
I forgot to until I saw the memes. I mean, it's the internet. I know all my facts and data from the internet. So that's how I know Disney's the safest place to be in Florida.
And
during a
everything you
hurricane.
read on the internet is true.
Factual,
Wink.
true facts. Yep.
Fair enough.
So I learned one thing about you, though, while editing your episode with all your ultra friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of surprised because you laugh at farts all the time, but you have a fear of farting.
All right, let me explain. If you didn't listen to the Yeti episode, so I only have a fear of farting when I am in an enclosed space with other people, i.e., on a plane, in a van during Reach the Beach. Like that's my fear that I'm going to fall asleep and like, you know how sometimes you get the knee-jerk reaction of just like kicking and waking yourself up? I'm just afraid I'm going to fart. And I don't want to subject anybody to that. So that's why I stayed awake for so long, to try not to fart in places I shouldn't be. I don't know. It's a dumb, irrational fear.
So it's actually a phobia.
Are you serious?
Yes, it is. So the
I
fear.
don't know if I'm actually like.
Yep. So
I don't know.
So this is great because you guys make fun of me for having commitment issues. And what was that phobia called?
Gamophobia.
Gamophobia.
Mm-hmm.
The fear of passing gas in public is called fartophobia. But it's farto with a PH. PHARTO phobia.
That could not be a more made up word.
It is.
Well, I know, but it very well could.
It's on Google.
But...
It's called fartophobia.
Oh my God.
If we named our episodes, this episode would be called fartophobia. Yeah, but it's a legit
that would be
fear.
doing Erin a disservice. So no, we are not going to do that.
Yes, so I have gamophobia, you have fartophobia, and that's freaking great. That's freaking awesome.
I guess I do.
So
that's so stupid.
I could get that on an airplane, or in a van. Sure, I wouldn't give a crap in a van full of Reach the Beach friends, though. But an airplane full of strangers, or like a bus or a van full of strangers, I get it.
Oh
so
my
if
God.
I do it, I just blame you.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to be like, no, I'm not taking the blame for this. But just know it, like, I can't subject my friends to that either. Like, I do have really, like, I swear I like hold them in too long and that's why they smell so
unhealthy.
Bad. So, I know.
It's unhealthy. Let it
just
out.
Need to go outside for a few.
Let it out.
Porta potties over there. Dude, is there any I'm starting to plan my my race calendar for next year. Are there any times that you can come running with me?
No.
We got to do a race together sometime. Come on.
I don't want to do the 20 miler. I love the 20 miler, but I don't want to train during the winter, during ski season, because I felt like that ruined a lot of ski days. And I'm talking not like by myself. I'm talking ski days with the kids. So
yeah, that's fair.
My plan is the day the slopes close, call it April 1st. I'll start training for a race. I think I can commit to the Goffstown Gallop. And is
I
New
hope so.
Boston
You already
doing their half
announced it.
again?
No, I think they got rid of that.
Oh, bummer. That was
It
a good
hasn't
one.
happened for the past couple of years.
Okay. I need a local one. That's all I need. You know,
All right,
I'll probably
that's fair.
do something in Manchester again or maybe Seacoast, but I don't know what I'm doing. I can't believe you're already planning your calendar. I guess I should believe
have
that.
to. Yeah. If I want to get some of the good places in, I'm planning a couple of new states next year too. So
Where are we going? Where
working
are you
on it.
traveling to?
Well, if anybody wants to join me on this crazy adventure, I would love some company, but I am going to do a back-to-back next year. It's the same weekend that they are doing the Revel White Mountains. I guess I just don't care about that one. But I'm going to go to Wisconsin and then drive to Michigan and do my own Earn Your Mittens challenge. And what's pretty cool, I signed up for Kalamazoo in Michigan. That's the marathon. And I was the first person from New Hampshire to sign up. So I got a free race entry. They have a 50 states challenge. So I'm
Wait,
going.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're the first person in your state to sign up, your entry is free.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
So
cool.
I took New Hampshire. Sorry, people, but I'm very excited. So I'm going to do, back-to-back marathon weekend, just like Wyatt has been doing. And he's trying to cram in all the rest of the states before the end of the year.
Yeah. You think you'll
I'm
get
just
it?
only doing one. I hope so. I really do.
So you got your schedule for next year, and
Starting
I guess this weekend you're going to run Bay State.
Yep. If anybody wants to come cheer me on, I'll be doing 2 laps of the well, I guess that is the full course, but 1 lap is the half marathon. So come join me. Come hang
Well,
out.
at least the weather, I don't know if you looked at it, the weather next weekend looks great.
I didn't look, but
Unlike-
that's great because I'm happy. I am also volunteering at Ghost Train. Me, Leslie, and her daughter are going to do the power lines for Ghost Train from 5 to 9 p.m. So
That's
if you're
nice.
running, say hi.
It's nice. Giving
Oh
back.
yeah, party
Giving
potties.
back.
We're at the party potties. Oh, we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna be wearing a penguin onesie. There's gonna be a couple other onesies. I forget what they're gonna wear, but yeah, come say hi.
You know, I just thought of it. Wow.
What?
Okay.
What?
Bay State's next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get the Healthy Kids Running series. You know, we might have a small in with the race director to postpone this past weekend because it was cold, wet, and miserable, and we had a rain date for next weekend. I don't
That
think
makes
he.
sense
I don't
now.
think he wanted to do it because it's Bay State weekend. That's
Is
okay.
the certain race director doing Bay State?
Maybe
The half or the full?
I don't know.
I'm sure a lot of parents might be.
Yeah. Maybe he was thinking of all the other people. Maybe it was still great. It was still great. We had 5 great weeks, or 4, I should say. And then
Awesome.
And then this past weekend, kind of cold and wet. It was like 45 degrees, and Adeline wasn't feeling well. But anyways, we'll be back in the spring. It was fun. It was always fun. We've done it before.
That's why this fair weather runner here went on her treadmill today because I was like, it's cold and windy and gross and rainy.
But yeah, so cool. Good luck in Bay State. I didn't know you were going to do that. So that's news to all of us.
Yeah, it was a last minute decision, and it's really just because I'm kind of lacking after Yeti was canceled. I just needed some maintenance miles until Hamster Wheel, so that'll do it. A nice marathon thrown in there. Don't care about time, just looking for the miles.
Well, hopefully Hamster Wheel's good weather.
I hope so.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed. So,
but still have to bring the camper.
And that's it for the podcast, guys.
Terry, no early winterizing it, please.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram.
There's a lot of people looking forward to this camper.
Subscribe to that YouTube channel. I have a bunch of videos already preloaded. Threads. I think I posted the other day on Threads that Erica has the fear that we now learned is called fartobia or fartophobia.
I really need to get Threads because I don't know what the hell you're posting on that thing.
TikTok, Facebook. And if you want to support the podcast, check us out on Patreon. We have the brand new, it was really cool. Ant Farmer sent us a message, a direct message. Thank you, Ant Farmer, but his name isn't Anthony Farmer, but he sent us a message. That was really cool. So thanks, buddy. And guys, follow us on or subscribe to our Patreon if you love us. Become a friend of the pod, a lover of the pod. That money is going to help us grow and expand and going to help the whole Monday Night Media thing. So it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun here when we know what we want to talk about. Sometimes we're like, dude, but guys, you're awesome. Thank you for supporting us. I got to end this podcast soon before I get more camper stuff. So, Erica, any final words?
Yes, Eric committed to bringing his camper and maybe pacing me for a few miles. You can come back at night. We'll have fun.
We'll see.
But anyway,
we'll see. But all right, I'll do my best to get the camper there. I don't think I'll be able to pace unless I can pull a stroller with me.
I mean, I don't know the rules about strollers, but we'll see.
All right.
Anywho.
Well, save me.
I'm trying.
And this podcast. Erin Pets, thank you so much. We have another really amazing guest next week, and we learned so much. You guys are going to love her. 2 more weeks of this Breast Cancer Month series. It's phenomenal that we do this. We're so happy we do it, and this running community kicks ass. So thank you, everyone, for all you do and for all the support that you don't just give us, but that you give everyone else out there running.
Mm-hmm. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for listening. You know we love you.
Don't fear the code brown.
And I'm going to remember to say it this time. Don't forget to stretch.
3, 2, 1.
So actually, the speaking of mascots and logos and everything, in Chicago Marathon, take the Chicago Bulls logo, turn it upside down, get a good look at it.
Can you show me?
It looks like a robot molesting a crab.
Wait a minute. Who told you this? And
it's all over the internet.
Why do you know this? No, really, can you show me?
Google.
Do I need to look at this right now?
Yeah, you need to Google this right now.
What do I type in? Upside down
Chicago Bulls logo, and then flip it upside down on your phone.
Oh, I guess I could do that. Chicago Bulls. Okay, hold on. Looks like a robot
molesting a crab.
I don't know if I see it. I don't know.
And that's its head.
And it's like its nose. All right, which one of you did this? Which one of you brought this up? That's who do I blame for this? That's the most random shit.